Righty, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that the rumors of Wuthering Waves' demise heading into version 3.0, it appears that those rumors might have been slightly exaggerated. And I think the reasoning over here for that argument is pretty simple, because I've got something that a lot of players have been keeping top of mind in the past couple of months on the screen. That's going to be the Steam charts for Wuthering Waves on the actual launch of 3.0. And as you can see, I'm only seeing a week over here, but you're seeing a peak of 40 players. That naturally dropped as people, just so you know, this is a 10-hour span of time. So naturally, people probably logged off to like go to fucking bed. But you can see that there were a lot of players on this game during release. It's been close to 12 hours since the patch actually launched, if not longer. And when you look it out, right, you expand it out and you take a look at the past 6 months of this game, or really the entire history of the game. As you can see over here, this even beat version 2.4's launch, which was the previous peak, the introduction of the game to Steam. And now on Christmas Day, knowing that Steam is a platform with a large number of players in the United States, or really a lot of regions of the globe that are currently celebrating Christmas. Guys, this patch has done what I would consider to be close to the unthinkable. Most people viewed Kuro Games' decision to launch this fucking update on Christmas as one of the dumbest decisions in the space. I'm honestly in agreement of that. A lot of individuals, right, specifically EN or global CCs, you can take a look at the track record over here. You got Gacha Smack saying, is WuWa 3.0 underhyped? You got Captain Cabinets going ahead, publishing a video, why there's no hype for 3.0. And the thing is, they both raised some pretty valid points as they were going ahead and they were describing the breakdown. But the most valid point of all was the idea that Christmas, a release around this schedule, was going to be something that really heavily damaged the potential release of 3.0. And I want to go ahead and provide some legitimate validity to those arguments, just speaking as somebody who's been making content for the game heading into this release. There wasn't as much hype heading up into the pre-release. That much is clear. You can see over here, my Linné Resonator Showcase only got 20k views. My Linné Weapon video only got 19k. My kit breakdown, only 28. These are videos that usually have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000 more views. And the thing is, it's not surprising at all for content creators, in my opinion, to be in this state of, damn, is the game like losing its hype? Is the game losing popularity as views and engagement kind of like drop alongside that? And my viewpoint is that this situation, this dynamic, we're clearly seeing that WuWa 3.0 is incredibly popular. It's something that a lot of players are coming back to the game to, or joining the game to actually experience firsthand. But unfortunately, I think what's become abundantly clear is that the lead up to it, it was just a natural thing. This is just the holidays. I think you can look at any gacha channel during this time of the year, and it's not going to be doing particularly well at all. I could probably look back to my oldest videos and see what it looked like in late December of 2024. Oh wait, that was WuWa 1.4. We weren't even in 2.0 yet, and it was not that good there either. So I think the main thing is that, yes, this was a unique release schedule, but what's become abundantly clear now that we're past the holidays, now that we're heading into New Year's, now that this sort of like lull is effectively over, we're in the stretch between Christmas and New Year's. People have gotten their gifts, people are relaxing, people have a lot of free time. Those 3-4 days between Christmas and New Year's is some of like the most free time that anyone can actually have in the world. And so I expect to see these numbers actually go even higher across the next 2 days, because again, guys, these are the numbers with a huge portion of Steam's populace celebrating Christmas today. These are the numbers with the majority of Steam's actual population literally going out and celebrating Christmas. Because guess what isn't counted in here, guys? The countries on the globe, the biggest ones that don't celebrate Christmas. Guess what, guys? Do you think CN's numbers are in here? CN doesn't really do Christmas. You think JP's numbers are in here? JP doesn't really, they kind of do, but some areas don't. But CN for sure, it's not big there. That's why CN fucking dropped, that's why a CN company dropped this shit on Christmas. So hopefully, right, this idea, I would say almost like the truth beyond the lack of engagement when it came to Wuthering Waves 3.0, guys, I would just view it as cyclical. And I would just view it as unfortunate because the timing didn't necessarily line up for content creators. The timing didn't necessarily line up for, I guess, maybe some would say the community as a whole. But I think one thing that we can say for certain, especially given the numbers and the metrics across the rest of the gacha space, guys, sometimes there just needs to be a realization that everything's actually just going bad in the gacha space. And Wuthering Waves is just the one game that's not getting crushed. You look at these other titles, and all you can think is, holy shit, what the fuck happened? You look at all of these other titles, and you're just like, oh lord, this isn't Wuthering Waves 3.0 and its hype being like under-delivered. This is the gacha space as a whole actively dying at the end of the year. And Wuthering Waves is succeeding in spite of the entire space collapsing in on itself. HSR is on version 3.8, which got extended by 2 weeks and is also the worst version update in the history of the game, with a retcon of the story and all this other trash that just makes it worse. There's currently, in my opinion, almost no competition for WuWa in the gacha space. Because right now, it's like, nobody is playing this update. Nobody wants to play this update. And this game, people are just waiting until 2.5 and begging that it doesn't ruin the game again, like version 2.0 did. Because you want to know what happened when ZZZ did its last relaunch? I'll show you the exact date of its last relaunch. Its last relaunch was 6 months ago, in June of 2025. Look at its player base heading into the update, and look at its player base afterwards. That is where the space has gone, and it's literally an identical trend in HSR and Genshin. They release their version update, and then the game falls off and literally gets worse over the next 6 months. And it's spending events everywhere. When I see a company that instead of spending events, where you pay full price and they give you extra shit, Kuro instead, knowing that they don't refresh their top-up bonuses until the anniversary, version 3.3 for us, they gave us some of the highest value bundles, knowing that the top-up bonuses aren't going to be reset. So that's what players have to incentivize their spending. They discount the packages for you. Do you want to know what Hoyoverse and Honkai Star Rail and all these other fucking games are doing? Oh, good lord. Get ready for this one, guys. This one's gonna be a joy. While Kuro Games gives you discounts so you can spend less money on the game to get things, you've got companies like Hoyoverse who are doing goofy ass shit, like assign their thank you gifts to spending events. Filmgoer thank you gift. Unlock rewards with top-ups. That's their thank you. Give us money. WuWa's thank you is, here's a discount on everything you could possibly need in the game. Here's a discount. If you wanted this stuff, you can get it for less. You get 76% additional value versus what you were paying before. And guess what? All the packages are in bite-sized pieces. So if you only want to spend 10 bucks, great. This game, give us $300, please. Please give us $300, please. We're desperate. And you want to know how you know they're desperate? It's because in version 2.3 and 2.4, they had a spending event. They had a spending event from 2.3 to 2.4, and they did a follow-up attack. It's a chain attack with another spending event. And so is it surprising at all, ladies and gentlemen, when you see games doing this, when that is what the gacha space is currently known for right now? Literally 5 spending events from Hoyoverse within the past 6 months. That's what it's known for. Is it any surprise at all that gacha on YouTube has been dying? Is it any surprise at all that engagement with gacha and gacha channels has had a problem? Probably not. And you want to know what this is a sign for to me? It's that this game is starting to shed that label of just a gacha game, of just gacha trash that these awful developers over at Hoyoverse keep trying to perpetrate every fucking update. Because you want to know why gacha has such a negative reputation? It's because of trash like this. People thought Hoyoverse was a higher quality gacha company because they didn't do trash like this in their games. Because Genshin was the game that didn't have spending events. The game that didn't have all this, like, you know, bells and whistles that make gacha seem like slop. And then they're reintroducing it and continue continuing to actually kill the space by ruining the reputation of every game that is a gacha by actively making the space worse with every fucking update. Because how do you have 2 spending events in a row? And how do you have, across HSR and ZZZ, 5 spending events in 6 months? Oh, wait. It's because you keep ruining the games, and instead of making them better, you're just gonna extract as much value as you can on this fucking cash grab before you move on to fucking, like, I don't know what the next game is called. It's like fucking, like, fucking Marsupial X? Varsapura? Varsapussy? I don't fucking know. Whatever it's called. They're just extracting as much value as they can until they abandon this fucking game and move on to whatever the fuck that one is. You already know. And honestly, it's a shame. Because this game has been actively dragged down by the horrific dog shit actions of Hoyoverse this entire year. And I am so glad to see it basically break free from the dog shit corruption these games have been making to the space. Because you just view these as cheap, inferior, low-quality products nowadays. And this is all the proof that you need. What developer would need to beg their player base to give them money like this unless there's something horrifically fucking wrong with the game? A thank you gift? What? How do you call this a thank you gift when you're making them spend money to receive it? That doesn't even make any fucking sense. That's how shameless these guys are. Overall, you can clearly see over here, I think that the rumors of that Doom posting, I think that the rumors of WuWa's demise, I think that the blame is being attributed into the incorrect places. Because in my opinion, yes, a good amount of it is entirely due to the holiday scheduling. But I think a majority of it is simply due to the fact that irresponsible developers who are abusing their communities and CCs who are just bending over, saying this is the best update ever when their thank you gift is a spending event. Good lord. There's a reason why people think gacha games are a joke. There's a reason why people say they'll never play a gacha game. And that's because of bullshit like this. Why do you think there was so much drama in the Game Awards? It's because people think gacha's trash. Is shit like this helping? No. That's gonna be it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. That's gonna be our breakdown of the initial reception to Wuthering Waves 3.0. I think that in the future, we just kind of like need to wait and see, or perhaps just factor in what's going on more externally in the space. Because one thing is clear, WuWa is the best gacha game. It doesn't even come close. There's not even a conversation. But that is not a hard task to do at all when Hoyoverse is your competition. That'll be it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.